Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures Towing Review with this 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 ZR2. It's got the 6.2 liter V8, towing capacity of 8,900 pounds. This trailer weighs in just under 5, about 47, I believe, and has about a 600 pound tongue weight. That's just right at the limit for this without weight distribution. And we're not using weight distribution because we like to see how well it can handle the load. When you throw a weight distribution hitch with sway control on, it's going to be much more stable. And anyway, this is a 64.7 mile loop according to Google Maps. We'll see what the truck says when we're done. Overall, so far, no problems, but we'll get into more of that later. Multimatic DSSV shocks. And these shocks are pretty capable all around. They're good. They keep you good and stable on road. And, you know, kind of flat cornering, but they have really good off-road capabilities as well. And they don't have a ton of travel. They don't add a ton of travel to it, but they do make it so you don't have any harsh bottom or top outs on the suspension. It's really quite incredible how well they do, at least in the Colorado. So I am going to do off-road testing with this, but haven't done it yet, so I can't say for sure. Inside, since I have it on the guest trailer, it's not recording the total trip mileage and all that stuff for this trailer. But if I switch profiles, I can add a new trailer here, and we'll just call it trailer 1. That's fine. And it's a conventional trailer. You have gooseneck and fifth wheel options as well. So we're going to do conventional. This one is a travel trailer or camping trailer. And go ahead and hit done. And so it's already set up, and you can set up TPMS for the trailer if you want. It does do a light test for you. No issues found with the lights. And has other options here, maintenance checklist. And you can go through and say it's securely mounted, the hitch is connected up, the electrical is connected, all that kind of stuff before you tow. It's a reminder for those new to towing to check everything. You can put in a vehicle weight on here, but if you're getting close to your maximum weight limit, towing limit, this thing will let you know, hey, this is getting too heavy. And then if you need other help, you've got a help page there. Anyway, it's got a decent amount of stuff here to help you with all your towing needs. And of course, your trailer gain adjustments down here below the trailer brake controller. I love having this right there. That's the best spot for it, in my opinion, especially if you're one of the drivers that rests your hand on or near this while you're driving. You can just reach up real quick in an emergency and grab that. Anyway, let's take a look here at the ratings, and I love that GM does this. Gross vehicle weight rating 7,100, gross combined 15,000. The rear axle is 3,800, and the weight of the truck 5,842, which leaves a max payload of 1,258. Conventional trailer weight 8,900 with a 900 pound tongue weight, and gooseneck is 6,400 with a 890 tongue weight on the conventional trailer, 890 pounds, and then on the max tongue weight for the gooseneck it's 960 pounds, which is why you only get a 6,400 pound trailer weight, because you have a lot more tongue weight and it takes up all your payload really quick. You see the line there, it's just barely off center from the ball, and we're not going to worry about that right now, but you can see it is. The camera's off center and that line is just off of the ball. I'm not perfectly straight here. We'll pull forward a bit, throw it back into reverse, and you can see it's not down the center line of the trailer. All right, we reset the trip meter. According to Google, we're going 94.7 miles, and let's see how the truck compares to that. Some cool things on this truck. First one we'll show you right here. I am on a guest trailer. I recommend doing this, getting all your settings dialed in and then setting it up for whatever trailer you're using. As you can see there, we're using the travel trailer. But this truck obviously has these cameras that point to the rear, let you see the trailer, how close you are to the curb, or whatever vehicle's next to you. Kind of covers your blind spots really well, which is beneficial because the mirrors these aren't the trailer tow mirrors. They're just a little bit narrow for towing a trailer. So you can see down the side pretty well, but not completely. Anyway, lots of cool features in this truck. We'll go through all that in a normal review. But as far as the towing stuff goes, I'm in tow haul mode right there. And I don't have any of the lane keep assist or parking sensors on. I may turn that lane keep assist on at a later time. It's not showing it on the screen. Let's take a look here at the camera system, which is pretty good on this truck. You see you have a good surround view camera, and the rear backup camera, I'll have to show you when I'm in reverse, but it is offset again, just like the Tundra. This one's going just under the speed limit, 70, going 68 to 70 miles an hour, kind of in that range. And I can really feel the truck pushing this, I can feel the trailer pushing this truck around a lot more than I can with many other half-ton trucks. But this is the off-road version. The ZR2 is much more tuned for higher speed off-road, which means pretty soft suspension, and a max towing of 7,100 is quite a bit lower. I don't know why I said 7,100. 7,100 is a gross vehicle weight rating. Max towing of 8,900 is a little bit lower than some of the others. Ram Rebel still up in the 11,000 range. The Tundra that I tested, TRD off-road version, still up in the 11,000 range. So this isn't like significantly lower, but 89, it's lower enough that that's 20% difference almost, and I can feel it. So the trailer is definitely pushing the truck around a little bit. It is a slightly windy day. Again, a southwest wind, very similar to the Tundra. Maybe slightly more wind today than we had with the Tundra, but definitely a lot more movement on the trailer. And again, just like the Tundra, I'm using a regular ball mount, not a weight distribution hitch. I wish it would show me which gear I'm in, but it just says drive down there. There might be a way to show that. I know if I manually shift it, it'll show what gear I'm in, but I can hear it kind of shifting back and forth in between a couple of gears, but I don't feel it a whole lot. For the most part, that's where we're hanging out, just a little under 3,000 RPM. Not super high. There's no droning from the exhaust. It's not uncomfortable to drive with it at this RPM. And this is the 6.2 liter V8 with 420 horsepower and like 460 foot-pounds of torque. So it's a pretty torquey engine, but it's just not quite as torquey as the twin-turbo V6s at 2,200 RPM or 2,500 RPM, where they're peaking at their torque at that RPM. This one peaks a little bit higher. It's going to hang out slightly higher RPM, but with the 10-speed, it's not a big deal. It puts you where you need to be in RPM range and keeps you there. One thing I do like, I did adjust the gauges a little bit, but as you change through the different drive modes, if you go to tow haul mode, this one switches from the battery voltage to the transmission coolant temperature, or trans temp. So I do prefer having a trans temp gauge whenever I am towing. Make sure that I'm not overheating it. We live here in the Rocky Mountain West and can climb 8% grades for 10 miles at 95 degrees outside. and have that be a fairly common occurrence, so it's nice having a trans temp gauge to monitor the health of the transmission while you're going. Everything's been good on this so far. Braking, steering, like I said, I can feel the trailer pushing the truck. I don't feel insecure, unstable, you know, overly so. I feel very comfortable up to that 70 miles an hour with this particular trailer, and set up how it currently is. I wouldn't go over that, and honestly, when you're towing decent weights, generally you're gonna stay under those speeds anyway. All right, we're starting the really steep, windy climb right here, and I'm not worried about power in this truck at all. So it's going to have plenty of power. The road's wet. It actually just rained here, and it looks like it snowed at maybe 8,000 feet or lower even. Anyway, rain here will make the road a little bit more slick, but if I need to, I'll just throw it in four-wheel drive. And this one does have the clutch-based transfer case with four-wheel drive auto and 4 high and 4 low. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not worried about it, but if we do have issues, we'll do that. As expected, speed limit's only 25 here, I believe, and as expected, it's not going to have any issues pulling it up this little incline. I do like this because it's windy and steep. It kind of shows how well the trailer can track behind the truck and still manage to go up steep climbs and all that kind of stuff while loaded. But man, this thing's not even struggling a little bit. So I'm at 1800 RPM right now. This is probably only, I don't know what this is, a 7% grade, maybe a little bit steeper. And there will be sections that are steeper than that as well, maybe up to 10% at the most. But it's really not extremely steep, just enough that some vehicles may struggle, especially if you're near the maximum weight of, you know, towing capacity or whatever the truck, gross combined vehicle weight between the truck and the trailer. If you're maxed out, sometimes this will be a tough test. All right, we've got a construction zone coming up. Left lane's closed. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I wanted to film it, and I threw on the lane keep assist just to see. So so far I haven't really seen anything, and I'm not sure if it's just a blind spot monitor, or I keep saying blind spot monitor, if it's a lane departure warning or a lane keep assist. I'm not sure which one it is, so we'll see. We'll see what it does. It's just might be trying to push me back in the lane a little bit. It was kind of hard to tell there. I can see the system is saying it's orange. There's orange lines there next to the speed limit there. The seat just vibrated, and it is definitely, it's turning the steering wheel back over to get it into the lane. And it wasn't overpowering by any means. It's probably one of the best ones I've had. So it was very easy for me to just push it to the right, push past that lane. I have just enough room here. Let's see if we can get those. Yep, so we have the green lines back on, and it is trying to push me over. You can see the steering wheel is turned a little bit to the left, trying to keep you within the lane. But anyway, it's so easy for me to overpower it. I would say Chevy has done a really good job with it. So I don't know of any others that have the lane keep that kind of steers, that are easier to put or control manually, to put back where you want it. It's most of them you're fighting it, and it's enough of a fight that you struggle against it a little bit, and then it releases, and then you go to the opposite direction because you were fighting it, so it turns a little bit quickly the other way. But honestly, this one, I mean, it's almost keeping me centered in the lane on its own. Yeah, you can see it kind of steering there. It's probably going to lose the lines. I never lost them. Interesting. Anyway, I'm impressed with that. I'm happy with that. Most of the time, like I said, they're overwhelming. This one is not. Something that I'm seeing more of that I really like, and sorry I'm going to be doing this one-handed, but gotta keep driving. So it has the cameras here, so go and hit the camera button, and you can see right now I have it on the hitch. Go down here, I can switch it. Oh, it's not letting me. It was pulling up the regular rear view camera initially. And you can pull up this one, which does the split mirrors down the side, so you can see both your blind spots at once. And you can also see the cargo in the bed view. Oh, there it goes. Now it's letting me do the rear view there. But anyway, it's yeah, it stays up for like 8 seconds or whatever, and if you change views it resets that 8 seconds. But it lets you check on your cargo, your trailer, see how well everything is back there, make sure everything's still connected, none of your stuff that's tied down is coming loose or whatever. I do like that you can pull those cameras up at least temporarily while you're driving, and I initially didn't know that you could do this view right there. So, and it looks like this one actually stays on. So all the other views, they'll shut off after a minute, but this one is staying on. And if you have additional cameras, you see the right there, it's showing the 2 mirrors, but below that it's showing the inside trailer camera, or the rear of the trailer, depending on how it is. I think that one's the rear of the trailer. But you can buy additional cameras that will wire into this truck, and if I haven't, I'll try and put up a picture of the 7-pin connection, because right above it are some trailer camera connections. And this connection here is for the camera inside the trailer, and that one's for the backup camera on the outside of the trailer, or review camera on the outside of the trailer. And you just plug in the camera there, wire it up into your trailer, and leave it in your trailer, and then on here you can hit that button and either have a backup camera on the back of your trailer or an inside view of the trailer. If you're hauling livestock or cargo and you want to make sure it's tied down or whatever, you can do that. I would say personally that would be something I would use maybe for livestock. I'm not sure I would use it for any other type of trailer, but anyway, you do have that option. And then of course you can use the backup camera on any of them. You can see what's behind your trailer. When you're driving down the road, make sure your cargo doors are closed, make sure if you're backing up that you're not going to back into anything. So they do have those additional features. I've never really tested or used them, but it is available. Fairly steep grades here. There'll be a couple more, but anyway, really the truck's not struggling. The transmission is shifting so smoothly. I don't have any issues. I always feel like GM has done the best with tuning the automatic transmissions. You guys probably know I prefer a manual. The truck I drive the most is a manual, but in this case, GM has tuned these 10-speed autos so well, made them so that they're just shift really smooth and they're in the right gear. There's no delay waiting for it to find the right gear, and it's not constantly shifting. In my opinion, GM seems to have the best tuned 10 speeds. Not that I've had any major problems. I didn't have problems with the Tundra. It was just fine. The Ford, that is the one that I had a few problems with, but nothing crazy. Like, it wasn't overwhelming for me by any means. And there were just a few times I guess when I was going to downshift, and it's like, which gear do I want to be in, dropping from 7th to 3rd, 4th, or 5th, and it was unsure. So anyway, I feel like GM's done a really good job with the tuning on this transmission. So I decided to pull up the maps on the truck so I could figure out exactly where I needed to turn and all that, and it's blank. So welcome to the world of subscription services. And now if you want to use maps on the truck, they don't have the preloaded maps like they used to, but you do have to have a data plan. Not a huge deal because you can connect your phone to it. As you guys know, I don't typically connect my phone. I just pulled up the maps on my phone instead for this, but anyway, I could just connect my phone and have the maps there from my phone and be just fine. Yeah, I don't see this as a big issue. Like I said, because cell phones are so prevalent with data plans and maps on the phones. It could be an issue for some. I just don't like the idea of subscription services. I do want to talk briefly on how these cameras are. You can see they're a little bit blurry, or pixelated, not blurry. They're pixelated, and I think that's because these cameras are used for the surround view of the truck, and they really kind of naturally point down a lot more than this. And what it's doing is taking a zoomed in image down the side and blowing it up pretty large, which makes it look pixelated. And in this case, it's just fine because you can still see the vehicles here on the side. They kind of, like the white vehicles, gray vehicles, kind of blend in a little bit with the road, but you can still see them just fine, and that's what you need for this camera view. When you're off-roading and stuff, you want much more clear cameras so you can see the terrain a lot better. Like I said, for this though, I would prefer it be much more clear than it is, but having it be the way it currently is not really a problem at all. All right, we used 6.888 gallons of gas. We went, according to Google Maps, 64.7 miles divided by 6.888, 9.39 miles per gallon. And according to the truck, we went, let me pull it up here real quick, 65.4 miles and average 9.2 miles per gallon. So let's take a look. 65.4, and the calculated is 9.49 miles per gallon. So it's actually showing better on the calculated miles per gallon than the truck's estimated, which doesn't happen very often. Usually the vehicle is a little bit optimistic and reads a higher number than what is actual from calculated fuel usage. So that's kind of cool. It's pretty close either way. I mean, that's I don't know how far off that is, a 3% or something like that. So in conclusion, this thing towed really well. There was a tiny bit of trailer sway. I could feel just barely. I wouldn't even call it trailer sway, but you can feel the trailer pushing the truck just a little bit. Nothing extreme. This is an off-road based truck with softer leaf springs and that kind of stuff versus a towing based one with a maximum tow rating. So you can get these Chevys in the 13,000 range on the Silverado 1500s. This one had a towing capacity of 8,900 pounds. And yeah, that's probably about what the limit would be as far as the stability goes. I did not use a weight distribution hitch, and it was maybe not quite as stable as some others like the Ram Rebel and the Tundra TRD off-road. But like I said, for the off-road capability of this thing, is totally worth it. And you can see the size of the trailer there. It's got a huge frontal area on it, which tends to hurt fuel mileage quite a bit on, you know, every vehicle I've tested with. This trailer gets much worse fuel mileage than any other trailer that I've driven.
Thank you for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 ZR2. It was a really fun test to do. I quite enjoyed the truck overall. It was interesting to see that it was maybe not quite as stable as some of the other ones, but it does have a little bit lower towing capacity at 8,900 pounds. Still, plenty of power out of that 6.2 liter V8, excellent tuning from the 10-speed automatic, and overall just an excellent truck. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post new videos, and give me a thumbs up. Also, be sure to comment. Let me know what you want to see, if you want to see more towing tests, if you're more interested in the off-road stuff, what you want to see as far as vehicles go, and I'll see what I can do to get what you guys want. Thanks again. Have a great day.